Let me tell you why I'm so excited about this company, how they can save me a bunch of money, and how they can do the same for you. Plus, as a bonus, at the end, I'll tell you about a feature that they include that makes life a little bit easier when you go to buy a SIM card. Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. I'm excited about this. I want to tell you about a company that, to be honest, I didn't even know existed. But they offer a product that I've been wanting for a long time. This is EIOT Club. I want to tell you about several different times in my life that if this had been available, this would have saved me a lot of headache and a lot of money. Before we get started, I want to be upfront with you guys and tell you that they sent me these SIM cards, but they're not paying me. And they're not telling me what to say, except they did ask me to explain how to use them. So this is EIOT Club. What is EIOT Club? Well, IoT stands for Internet of Things. So these are SIM cards with accompanying data plans that work very well with Internet of Things devices. Think security cams, trail cams, smart home devices. If, like me, you've looked at the plans available from the major companies such as AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon, you'll know that those plans are usually pretty expensive. They might include a lot of data, but you really don't need a whole lot of data to do certain things. I have a lot of different uses that I think these would be awesome for, but I wasn't willing to spend $50 a month per SIM card to AT&T or Verizon when I only need a little bit of data. Now let me tell you about our first example of how this could have saved me a lot of money. And the first way that EIOT Club could have saved me a lot of money is this guy. This is the Reolink 4G. You could probably guess by the skin on it that this can be used as a trail cam. But I'm going to use it as a security camera. You see, I have a garage that I use for storage, and it was broken into a few years ago. There's no Wi-Fi available in that garage, therefore the only way to give me alerts and to see video online is to be able to have something that uses a SIM card. This camera has a motion sensor, so if I had had this camera in that garage, I would have been alerted right away to the motion that would have been detected in the garage. I would have then been able to view the person on my phone and take that footage to the police. Who knows, the thieves may have run off if they had heard me talking to them through the two-way communication with this camera. When you're watching them on your phone or your computer, you can hear them and you can talk to them. I could have said something like, hey, the cops are on their way, you're on camera, and they may well have just dropped everything and ran off. So let me use this as an example of how you could set this whole thing up, including their cards. So the first thing you'd want to do is get one of their SIM cards. You can get it from their Amazon store. It comes with 300 megabytes of data for no extra charge. You can always add more anytime you want. They wanted me to be clear that you should refill your data plan before you run out, that way you never experience any outages. That also means no surprise bills, you just buy it when you want it. They offer time periods from a week for under $1 all the way up to a year. There's barcode with these numbers that match the numbers on the SIM card. When you get the card, you can go to their website at any time and punch in the number. You just omit the last number, so if it ends in 0, don't put in the 0. If it ends in 5, don't put in the 5. You get the idea. That's how you activate your card, check your data usage, and add more data if you want to. And I feel confident in the security of the payment because it's powered by Stripe. The cards come in these little Mylar bags, and I've put tape on mine and labeled it. That way I know which card goes to which device, so at any time I can pull out this card, punch in the number, and I can check my data usage, add data, do whatever I want to do. So once you have your card activated, then you want to set up the camera itself. You want to unscrew the back of the camera. Then you want to insert the SIM card. Then you want to insert your microSD memory card, which will hold your footage. Insert the battery, and screw the back of the camera on. My battery came with approximately 50% charge. I charged mine with a phone charger. But you can see that mine came with this solar panel in the package, that has a USB micro on the end. I want to point out that this solar panel impressed me. After I charged it, I used the battery for a little while. Then I left this in the back of an SUV overnight, with the camera pointed out the window as well as the solar panel. The windows in the back of the SUV are tinted, and it was a cloudy day, and this panel still managed not only to keep the battery level from going down when this was being used, but also it charged it up. So needless to say, I was pretty impressed with that. So once you've got your SIM card and it's activated and you've inserted your SIM card and your memory card and you've charged your battery, then you want to download the app to your phone or your computer. The booklet that comes with the camera tells you where to get the app, like the iOS App Store or the Google Play Store, for instance. They also have a QR code in the booklet that you can scan with your phone and it'll take you straight to the app so you don't have to search. Once you download the app, you hit the little blue and white plus sign. It'll ask for permission to use your phone's camera. Once you allow that, a little window will pop up and you're looking through your phone's camera. You point your phone's camera at the little QR code on the top of this Reolink camera. Give it a minute and the app will locate this camera. It'll ask you to create a password. That's all there is to it. Your Reolink camera is set up and all you have to do is go mount it. You have a couple different options for mounting. You can either screw directly through these holes, or you can use this plate like I have that comes with this strap, and you can wrap this around a fence post or a tree limb or whatever. You loosen this nut in order to be able to move the camera and point it where you want it. If you buy one with a solar panel, you plug the solar panel right into this micro USB port on the bottom. These EIOT SIM cards are perfect for this. I have the camera setting right here pointed at me, and I wanted to show you the speed of the connection. As you can see, if I wave, there's really not much lag. It's pretty impressive for something that goes through a cellular connection, over the internet, and then eventually back to me through my Wi-Fi. I wanted to show you some footage so you could get an idea of the quality. Now this Reolink camera is a 1080p camera, and it will record the full 1080p as well as a lower resolution file to the SD memory card. When you get a motion alert on your app and you choose to watch it, you can either watch the full 1080p video or you can use a lower resolution to save data. Here's some nighttime footage. As you can see, it has some infrared night vision built in. I'll do a more in-depth video on this Reolink camera in the future. Let me know if you have any questions or if there's anything that you want me to include in the comments. You voted that this is okay, so I wanted to ask you real quickly, if you're interested, please subscribe and share this with anyone who you think might be interested. Appreciate it. The next way the EIOT Club could have saved me a lot of money and a lot of headache was with a GPS tracker. You see, I've had things stolen, such as tools and a snowblower. My sister had her car stolen. If any of that stuff had a GPS tracker on it, the police would know right where to go to recover it for us. Also, I've had more than one occasion when my dog ran off, and I was worried about her. If I had had a GPS pet tracker on her collar, I would have worried a lot less and been able to find her a lot quicker. So this would have saved me a lot of time, headache, and money. And the last example I want to give of how EIOT Club could have saved me a lot of money is with flood sensors. You see, a few years ago, I had a sewer drain get clogged. The sewage backed up into the basement, and the tenants didn't let me know until the sewage was deep. So not only did I have the cost of getting the drains cleared, I had the cost of cleaning the basement. Also, the water shorted out the main board on the furnace. This meant huge repair bills that could have been avoided had I known sooner. EIOT Club offers a plan for $30 a year that would give me way more data than I would need for those kinds of sensors. With the cost of that one incident, I could have paid for this service for decades. Not years, literal decades. I could have put the sensor a foot or two away from the drain, and as soon as it got wet, I would get an alert to my phone. And I got off cheap, considering I heard a statistic once from AAA. They said that the average cost of a water line bursting on a washing machine cost $7,000 of damage. So if I had had this available to me, this would have saved me a lot of time, a lot of money, not to mention just a lot of hassle. For $7,000, you could pay $30 a year for over 230 years. You see, what I'm going to do is take these SIM cards and put them in these hotspots like this one from Netgear and this one from Alcatel. I'll plug these into the wall so I don't have to worry about batteries running out. These will provide Wi-Fi so I don't have to worry about tenants moving, changing services, or changing their passwords. So I'll have the peace of mind of knowing that if a basement ever starts to flood again, I'll know about it right away before it ever costs that kind of money again. EIOT Club wanted me to be clear that these SIM cards don't include talk and text. They're simply data plans. So if you wanted to put these cards into a phone to do talk and text, you'd have to use an app like WhatsApp or FaceTime, things like that, because those apps use data. Just remember that the device that you put it in has to be compatible with either AT&T or T-Mobile, and it has to be unlocked. You turn on data roaming and you're good to go. They tell me that most devices have their APN pre-programmed, but there is a chance that you would have to type that in. In that case, you would just Google something like the name of your device followed by change APN settings. For instance, if this hotspot didn't already have it built in, I would Google something like Alcatel Link Zone change APN settings. So far, I haven't needed to change it on any of the devices that I've tried. I looked it up for these devices that I've tried, and it's pretty easy to find. I found step-by-step instructions for all of them. If you ever need help, you can email them and they're very friendly and helpful. Now for that bonus feature that I'll admit is not exclusive to them, but I think is really cool. SIM cards come in 3 different sizes. And I've bought SIM cards from major companies like AT&T that came in the wrong size. In that case, you have to find a template, print it, trace it, and be very careful with a knife or scissors. As you can see from the small connectors on this SIM card, if you're off just a little bit, you can render the card useless. This is where a tool like this would come in. It essentially works like a paper punch. But with EIOT Club, you don't need it. You can simply punch out the full size card, or you can punch out this size, or you can punch out the smallest size. No need to buy an adapter, no need to buy a special tool. I thought that was pretty cool. I'm a poet and didn't know it. I don't think I've said that since I was in elementary school.
One feature that I really like about these cards is that they're non-steering, which means that it's going to pick the network that's best for you where you're at that time. So if you're closer to a T-Mobile tower, it's going to pick T-Mobile. If you're closer to an AT&T tower, it's going to pick that. One thing that I think would be really cool if they could add this feature is to put a unique QR code that would come on that card that you punch the SIM card out of. And you scan it with your phone, and it would automatically take you to their website and pre-fill all those numbers for the SIM card. I put mine in a hotspot, and it worked really well for browsing the web, watching YouTube videos, and all that. They didn't ask me to say this, and they don't know that I'm saying this, but I'm going to get more of these. I have links in the description to both their Amazon store and their website.
Well, there you go. There's a look at EIOT Club. I hope you found this video useful and interesting. If you have any questions for me, leave them in the comments. I'd love to talk to you down there. I want to thank EIOT Club for sending me these SIM cards, and of course, as always, I want to thank you so much for watching the video. I really appreciate it. See you next time.
Wow, I just had some woman curse me out because I was walking by her house recording.
Feature that they include that makes life a little bit easier when you go to buy a SIM card. I kind of said no instead of go, I think. They wanted me to be offer time periods anywhere from a week for under $1 to a year. Cards come on these cards that their SIM cards come on these SIM, oh boy, with this solar panel in the package that has a micro SD. If you buy one with the solar panel plugs in right to in. If you buy one with a solar panel, you plug the spots like this one from Netgear and this one from Alcatel.